Identifying subject-verb agreement errors. It is important that the subject and verb in every sentence agree in number. While it is often easy to make this happen, there are a few situations in which it can be tricky to achieve subject-verb agreement. This lesson explains how you can be sure to pair the right verb with a subject. Subject-verb agreement. Do you remember when you were a kid playing with the activity book? Did you ever play connect the dots? That activity requires you to figure out which two dots to connect at a time, even though there may have been a bunch of dots all clustered around. Sometimes, to make sure that you have written a sentence correctly, you will have to connect the dots between certain parts of a sentence, even if those parts are not right next to each other. The part of a sentence that essentially have to connect here are the subject and the verb. The subject of a sentence is what the sentence is about. It is usually, though not always, perform the action of the verb. A verb is a word that expresses the action or the occurrence. Our connect the dots analogy comes into play here with the fact that the subject and verb in a sentence have to agree in number. In other words, if you have a singular subject, it has to connect with a singular verb. Likewise, a plural subject will require a plural verb. This is simple enough to do, but occasionally it may feel a bit like playing connect the dots when your subject is in one spot in a sentence and your verb is some distance away. We'll discuss how to make sure that the connection always gets made. Simple sentences and compound subjects. It is not too tough to make subject and verb agree in basic sentences with a simple subject. For example, in the sentence, my flight leaves in an hour, the subject flight is singular and the verb leaves is singular as well. So we have agreement. In the sentence, my friends go to school there, the subject friends is plural and the verb go is plural too. Just remember that while we make most nouns plural by adding an s, like when we turn singular noun apple into plural noun apple, verbs often work in the opposite way. Often a singular verb will end in an s, while the plural version will be without the s. For example, we would say, this apple tastes good. These apples taste good. Just don't get confused about which verbs are singular or plural by looking at them the same way you would at nouns. Compound noun joined by and. Some sentences have compound subjects, which are subjects that consist of more than one word. Compound subjects are typically joined by and or. A compound subject that has parts joined by and needs to be matched with a plural verb. Here is an example. My cat and my dog are asleep. Our compound subject, my cat and my dog, is correctly matched with the plural verb are. Compound noun joined by or. If you have a compound subject that is joined by or, look at whether the component part of the compound subject are singular or plural. If both parts of compound subject joined by or are singular, then you would use a singular verb. For example, either Mr. Gracia or Miss Jackson is in charge of the math club. If both parts of a compound subject joined by or are plural, then we would use a plural verb. For example, you might say, I think that either sharks or tigers are the scariest animals. So what do we do when one part of a compound subject joined by or is plural and the other part is singular? Check out the sentence. Either Captain Davis or the soldiers on duty tonight. The first part of our compound subject, Captain Davis, is singular, while the second part, soldiers, is plural. Look at which part of the compound subject is closer to the verb. Make the verb agree with the part of the subject that is closer to it. In this case, it is the plural part of our compound subject, soldiers. Our completed sentence would therefore take the plural verb are. Either Captain Davis or the soldiers are on duty tonight. If we are to flip the order of the parts of the compound subject in our sentence, it would need to be change our verb too. In that case, our sentence would be either the soldiers or Captain Davis is on duty tonight. Here, because the singular part of the subject Captain Davis, Captain Davis is closer to the verb, we need a singular verb. Subject verb inversion. In some sentences, the subject and the verb get flipped in terms of order. and the verb comes before the subject. This happens with questions. For example, no matter what order everything is in, though we still need to be sure that in each sentence our subject and verb agree in number. For example, I might ask, where are my books? Where are my books? In this question, the subject is books and the verb is are. They are both plural. So the subject and verb in this sentence, even though the usual order is inverted, are in agreement. They are both plural. So the subject and verb in this sentence, even though this usual order is inverted, are in agreement. Sentences that start with the word there typically also feature an inverted subject verb order. Again, the process is simple. Just connect the dots to identify the subject and verb and make sure that they agree in number. For example, in the sentence, there is a simple explanation. The subject is explanation and the verb is. Here both the subject and verb are singular, so we have agreement. Interrupting prepositional phrases. Connecting the dot to make sure that you correctly identify the subject and verb in a sentence in order to make them agree is especially important when other words and phrases come in between them. To make a look at following sentence. The cost of medications risen recently. To figure out whether we need a singular or plural verb, we will first need to determine what our subject is. Many people might glance at this sentence, see the word medication, and decide that the sentence would correctly read, the cost of medication have risen recently. The assumption there would be that because medication is plural, we would need the plural verb have. Look again. Though is medication actually the subject of the sentence? Is the speaker saying that medications have risen or something else? In this sentence, the word of is a preposition and the word of medication is a prepositional phrase. A preposition is a part of a speech that shows how nouns or pronouns in a sentence are related to other words in the sentence. Remember that a word in prepositional phrase can never be the subject of the sentence in which the phrase appears. The word medication, therefore, is not our subject in this sentence. Instead, the subject is cost. This makes sense because this sentence is really telling us that the cost has risen. The word cost is singular, so we need a singular verb, has. The corrected sentence would be, the cost of medication has risen recently. Here is one more example. Glitches in my computer causing problems. What is the subject of this sentence? Remember that in my computer is a prepositional phrase, so we need to ignore it for a moment. The subject is glitches, and that is plural noun. So we need the plural verb are. The correct sentence would be glitches in my computers are causing problems. Remember not to be thrown off by the fact that a singular noun, computer, sits next right to the verb. If a particular noun is not the subject, then we don't worry about it when figuring out how to make the subject and verb agreement in number. Indefinite pronouns. You may recall that pronoun is a word that takes the place or refers to a noun. There is a specific type of pronoun that may cause a bit of confusion when it comes to subject-verb agreement. Indefinite pronouns are pronouns that do not refer to a specific person or thing. Here are some examples. Anybody, anyone, anything, everybody, everyone, nobody, nothing, none, somebody, someone, and something. All of these are singular indefinite pronouns. We tend to think of some of these indefinite pronouns like everybody and everyone as referring to a lot of people instead of being singular. Actually, though, in terms of grammar, these indefinite pronouns are technically singular. We need to match them up with a singular verb in sentence in order to ensure that we don't have subject-verb agreement problem. For example, we would say, everybody has the right textbook for class. Not only does this sound right, but it also checks out grammatically. Everybody is a singular indefinite pronoun and it is the subject of our sentence and has is a singular verb.